Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and Batman Dan came out today after being pushed back, and I have been waiting for this for so long. I love this series. Started out with the infamous Batawang, and then in the second issue we had, Harley basically try to take advantage of Batman. Oh my god, what's not to love, right? Like, it's so good. So it's by Limber Mayhew and Brian Azzarello. The art alone is worth it. The actual book is solid. It is very good quality for the price. Like, honestly, this Black Label, to me, is something looking forward with DC Comics that could actually be something really great. Like, I know Raven came out today, and I am excited to read that graphic novel. There are a lot of good things, even with the drop of Vertigo, which was a good thing, trust me. There are a lot of good things coming from this Black Label, the Joker and Harley. The Ivy and Harley, maybe that. Okay, we'll talk about that another time. That's a whole different subject. Bad editor. Anyways, so this was epic. Like, I absolutely adore this comic. It was really, really well done. We open up and we see, this skull, and they're talking about control and being in control, and are you really in control? Do you really want control? It is basically, a running dialogue through Batman's head, basically coming from Constantine. He's kind of the narrator at this point. And there was some pacing issues in the last two. I don't feel like that was so much in this one. I felt the pacing was quite a bit better, just because it was more direct, more on the point, and more moving forward. So I love these, Bat-Heart, I guess, it's so good. We see Batman and he is in a casket. Like, last we left him, he was with Harley by the bat signal. So from there to here, he got in a casket somehow, and he is buried. Worst fucking nightmare ever. He is buried. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. So immediately, though we obviously know that's not going to remain an issue for Batman, Swamp Thing is there and saves the day. This picture of Swamp Thing is so good. Like, I could literally just make a video about how good the art is. But we see some dialogue back and forth, and we see Constantine show up. And Constantine and Swamp Thing are not friends. They don't get along at all. And the dialogue between them is good. You can feel the annoyance, the tension there. And I liked that about this. And even Batman kind of feeds into it a little bit. And Constantine, speaking of Harley, Constantine, says, "Come on, even after I snatched the belt Miss Quinn took from your waist before you and she, leading to that whole almost RAPE issue. I don't know. I'm sure just saying damn's going to get me demonetized, so I don't know why I have to spell it out. But moving forward, he asks if he wants a cigarette. And then we get to see, which we have seen throughout this series, a little bit of Enchantress here, a little bit of Enchantress there. Well, we finally get to get a little bit more of an interaction, and she is basically enchanting these gravestones, these statues, and they're attacking, and they take care of it, obviously, and there's a little bit of a battle, and it's really good. Okay, so I'm not going to keep talking about the art, but it's good. And with Swamp Thing's help, they take care of it, and Batman kind of chases after her to try to figure out what's going on, and we're not really getting a whole lot of answers throughout this whole thing, just what her role is to play in this. We kind of do, and we kind of don't, and we kind of see maybe she might be a little bit deeper in this than we realize, and then that's it. We get some more dialogue, and it's really okay. So we get a flashback. We get Constantine saying, Batman says he wants to know the point of this, why exactly all of this is happening. Constantine finally just says, fine, I will show you. And we get to see Bruce and Martha and Thomas. They are back at that, typical, very normal Zorro movie theater where his parents passed away. And he is being a kid, saying on guard and acting like Zorro. He sees Enchantress. He chases her down the alley and tries to figure out just exactly what is going on. His parents are pissed. they go after him. And then we switch to this nightclub, this pub. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And they are, again, trying to get answers. And Constantine takes him there, and we see Zatanna, who looks flipping fantastic. Like, oh, that is Zatanna right there. She looks so good. And she is going to try to help him, try to see exactly what is going on in this universe so he can get some answers. And holy Zatanna booty. Oh my God, I can't get over how good. Moving on. I go off subject way too much. So we do see Deadman for a second, and we do get to kind of get this conjuring thing. We get to see Zatanna Constantine basically threatens her and says she has to do this, but she is able to kind of, tell him to be brave and tell him to go with what is exactly going on, even though he doesn't believe in these, he calls them illusions. Constantine calls it magic. So we see this little Bruce kind of appear and immediately goes back into the same alley we were just in, except for a little bit of a different situation. We see Enchantress with Bruce. We see his parents now dead at this time. And Enchantress's face has changed quite a bit. She is basically giving, saying he's fearless and taking his soul, so to speak. And that's kind of how, I will get to exactly what I think at the end. We see him, having that issue with his parents that we've seen time and time again. And we see them going, forward. Well, Constantine just shoots him. He's dead. Little Bruce is dead. Poor little guy sitting there in the alley all full of blood. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's dead. And we get to Batman not understanding why he did it, but going away and going to the morgue to try to find out for himself, not trusting Constantine anymore. And it is the Spectre. I love it. He is there to judge Batman. And this is where we're going to start to get our answers. I guess I should have said spoiler warning, but even so, we're going to start to get answers to just what all of this means. And we see, he says, you know what you did. And we get a flashback when this whole series started. It was Joker's body washed ashore, and we are getting to see that actual fight. So he didn't hold back. He would have been able to save Joker. He himself had a fatal wound. Now, all of that is kind of important, so don't forget. So he does judge him, and he does say, you need to pay for your crime. You let him die. The reason why Batman did let him die, though, was because he knew his wound was fatal. He was afraid of just exactly what would happen to Gotham without him being there. So if Batman wasn't around, Joker would have free reign. He figured it was better off with Batman dying than Joker should die too. So he did. He let him die. And he even says, this is a little harsh to the Spectre. It's a little harsh how you're judging me. And, I have mixed feelings about this. It is harsh, but yet Batman wouldn't give anybody else any leeway when it comes to that either. Like, I can't hardly see him saying, oh yeah, well, you killed somebody, or not killed somebody, but you could have prevented their death and you did not. And I really do feel like Batman would make the same call that the Spectre did, even though that is his character. He is a little harsh. Even so, we see Batman go into this morgue door along with Joker, and we switch back to the bridge where it all started. We see Joker fall to his death. And that is the end of the story, right? No, it's totally not. We see Joker wash up and a bunch of laughing, and it says, it's just another story. Like, I love that ending. I believe that they could. I know we are getting the Joker and Harley on the Black Label, so I don't think that will have anything to do with this. But I do feel like this could lead into something more. My feeling with this is I love it. I love everything about it. But also then again, at the same time, looking at it as a reading it 1 through 3 all at the same time, it would have been a lot easier to figure out just exactly what the hell was going on, because I didn't know the first two. Batman's been dead the whole time. Batman has been dead from the word go. In the beginning, Constantine saves him in an alley, and at the end, he dies in an alley. Like, he obviously was dead. We see him in the beginning talking about his fatal stab wound, and it's gone all of a sudden. Like, it doesn't make any sense at the beginning. And I even said in my first video about Dan, you know, he was talking about his blood pressure and the pulse pressure was way off. And I'm like, no, that would be totally wrong. He would be in shock. Why I didn't see it then, I don't know. This whole series has been Batman's purgatory, so to speak. It has been his living hell. And that's why everybody was able to shift. Everybody was able to be just a little bit different. Even Harley herself. She had an autopsy scar. Like, it didn't make sense if she was alive. So now everything kind of makes sense and we can move forward with this. Absolutely fucking worth it. Like, this is definitely my pick of the week. It was so good. I know it was pushed back. I know there was issues with it. People just, it's infamous for the Batwing. Let's just say it. But it was good. Like, I'm impressed. I really, really enjoy it. Even though they did a really good job with the Joker graphic novel too together. So I would like to see something go further with this. Like, I would be really into that idea. I hope at some point they do. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.